It was championship weekend for our winter sports teams, and what a thrilling 3 days. Benet Academy fought for 2 state titles, and Warriors hockey also looked to win its 5th state title as they went to double overtime at the United Center. Hello Naperville sports fans, and happy St. Patrick's Day. I'm your host, Joe Kennedy. Let's waste no time and jump right into an action-packed weekend. Benet boys basketball knocked off Quincy in the Super Sectionals and traveled to Champaign to compete for a state title. So let's begin with the semifinal against Evanston Township. The Red Wings student section is ready for the 4A state semifinals between Benet Academy and the Evanston Wildcats. The last time the Red Wings lost was to the Wildcats on February 1st and have simply been on fire since as winners of 10 straight. The Wildcats have won 12 of their last 13 and are in the state series for the first time since 2019. The winner plays Warren in the state championship. Evanston grabs the rebound and quickly heads up the court. Vito Rocca finds George Richardson, who scores the first points of the night. Blake Fagbemi finds Jaden Wright at the top of the key. Wright spins past 3 defenders and nails the midi to tie it up. Fagbemi takes his defender to the basket and draws in multiple Wildcats. Mac Doyle is left open in the corner, and it's pure. As Doyle heads back to defend, he jumps a pass and acrobatically finds Fagbemi, who gives it off to Colin Stack for the slam. Benet leads 7-2. Benet's defense sets the tone early on. Stack and Avardis Stasis rise up for not just 1, but 2 blocks down low. Red Wings lead 13-6 after the first. Now it's Evanston's turn to shine on defense. The steal leads to a transition bucket from Theo Rocca, and Benet is still up 13-8. Stasis picks it away from the Wildcats and heads in transition. He takes it himself, Euro-stepping around the defender and getting the basket to drop plus the foul. It's another Red Wing steal, this time from Doyle, who finds Poliukonis. The Southern Illinois commit puts in the Euro step himself and scores to cap off a 7-0 run. It makes it a 28-ball game as Evanston calls timeout. Out of the timeout, Evanston calls up a set for Caden Chatham. He steps into the midi and sinks it. Now off the inbound, Chatham finds Theo Rocca, who banks in the 3. The Wildcats aren't going away just yet. Then Chatham attacks the lane and rises over the defense for the lay-in. The Wildcats' 7-0 run makes it a 20-15 Benet lead at the end of the second quarter. Start of the third, Benet is off to the races. Fagbemi cuts inside and sends one over his head to Stack, who puts in the deuce. Fagbemi tries to send it to the corner, but it's taken by Theo Rocca. He lays it off to Richardson, and it's now a 2-point game with 5 minutes left in the third. More fast-paced offense for the Wings. Wright's 3 is off, but watch Fagbemi fly up for the putback. He nearly slams it down as he makes it a 26-20 Benet lead. Fagbemi then heads up court and gives it to Poliukonis. He creates some space, lets it fly, and it's green. Wings lead 33-28 at the end of 3. In the fourth, the Red Wings look to wrap it up. They open with Poliukonis attacking the lane and getting the and 1 to drop. Minutes later, Poliukonis catches, shoots, and scores to make it 43-31. Then to close it out, the Benet guards work it together, and Wright puts it on the money to Stack, who posterizes a Wildcat. He's hyped up as the Red Wings would lead by as much as 22 in the fourth. After trailing 2-0 at the start, Benet would lead the rest of the game and defeats Evanston 56-47. They will take on Warren in the state championship.
The final game of the IHSA basketball season finds Benet Academy taking on Warren in the 4A Boys State Championship. Both teams are in search of their first ever state title, with the Red Wings back in the finals for a 4th time under Hall of Fame head coach Gene Heidkamp after a win over Evanston in the semis on Friday night. The Blue Devils are in the championship game for the first time since 2011 and are led by sensational sophomore Jackson Davis, who scored 27 points in the semifinal victory over Rich Township. It's the Blue Devils with a 6-3 lead in the first until Blake Fagbemi dishes out to Colin Stack, who lasers in the 3-point basket. 10-8 Benet, and the Blue Devils get their man Jackson Davis going, who's looking to pass, but he'll just take the three himself, and it's good. 13-11 Wings as we're near the end of the first, and it's Daniel Poliakonis getting the Benet pass and connects on the trifecta to beat the buzzer. VA holds a 16-11 lead after one. In the second quarter, Warren gets a favor from Owen Squires, who lands in a corner three to keep the Blue Devils within striking distance. Both teams make the best of a low-scoring second quarter as Stack gets the rebound and put back to make the possession count. Halftime score is 24-23 Red Wings. The third quarter starts in favor of all Red Wings. After multiple rebounds below the rim, Poliakonis gets the basket to drop with a foul. Then Jaden Wright jumps in on the action. Teammate Mac Doyle finds him, puts on the moves, and takes a wild mid-range shot that falls. 15 points in the game for Wright as Benet opens the third quarter scoring on a 12-4 run to lead 36-27. Just when it's all fun and games, Warren gets a big-time three-pointer from Javarian Banks. They tack on another basket to trail 38-34 heading into the final quarter of the season. The Blue Devils get a turnover, and Davis throws the baseball pass to Banks, who is all alone and lays it in. Benet responds to the swing with Fagbemi, who attacks the paint by spinning away from the whole defense and puts in the deuce to make it 47-41 in their advantage. Later on, Poliakonis drives through the zone, and the Southern Illinois commit drops in 2 of his 17 game points, and they lead 54-47 with under 2 minutes to go in the game. However, it's not over with Warren and Davis on the court because he puts up a three, and it's good with a foul. What a shot by Davis, and Warren trails 54-52 with over 50 seconds left. Now Benet leads 55-54 as they try to milk the clock with under 30 seconds left. Fagbemi breaks loose and drives to the paint looking to feed Colin Stack, but Andrew Watson stands in and draws the charge. It's Warren ball and the Blue Devils have a chance to take the lead. Less than 10 seconds left as Warren inbounds under the hoop with Braylon Walker finding Davis, but he slips while being closely guarded by Mac Doyle. He recovers the ball as head coach Zach Ryan gets the timeout to keep possession, but with only 0.3 of a second remaining on the clock. Last chance for the Blue Devils. Ed Stasis enters to guard the inbounds pass for Benet and deflects it, allowing time to run out, and we have a winner! After years of trying and frustration, it's Benet Academy capturing their first ever boys basketball state championship after a 55-54 win over Warren. The Red Wings end their season with a final record of 33-5 and at the top of the mountain in Class 4A.
Benet Academy basketball is our first team state champion since Warriors hockey last March, but they're our first individual team to win a title since Naperville Central boys soccer in the fall of 2022. So speaking of the Warriors, they once again made the Blackhawk Cup state finals over the weekend. So let's see if they can repeat as champs as they took on the BGHW Stampede.
The Warriors Hockey Club is back in the AHAI Combined Blackhawk Cup State Championship game after taking down Chicago North in triple overtime in the semifinals. Their opponent is a familiar foe in BGHW, a rematch of the 2018 championship game that the Stampede won 7-2. It's the Stampede on the attack early as they move the puck around until Ryan Costanza taps it in to give BGHW a 1-0 lead. They tack on another goal right after to double their advantage. It's the Warriors' turn to find the back of the net, but the puck finds the glove of Stampede goalie Adam Krzyzanowski. They get one back with James Nafsinger, who is in the right spot and scores to get the Warriors on the board. Back come the Warriors in the second period. After moving the puck around the zone, it's Ethan Newberg with the one-timer, and this game is tied at 2. Now they look for the lead as Finn O'Toole takes a shot, but Krzyzanowski denies entry. In the third period, the Warriors defense steps up with their goalie Sean DeVolk, who is in position to shut down a Stampede goal attempt. BGHW gets another opportunity with Adrian Wisniewski, but the attempt goes off the post and DeVolk reacts for another save. Neither team can break the tie, so we go to overtime. In the first overtime, the Stampede look for that chance, but DeVolk continues his strong game with a huge save. The score remains even after one OT, so let's try a second one. The Warriors are no strangers to this position or result because Jacob Morgan's shot is rebounded by Joe Pianowski, who scores to win the AHAI Combined State Championship. The Warriors Hockey Club takes down BGHW in a 3-2 double overtime thriller to take home their 5th combined Blackhawk Cup.
By land and by sea, Benet's Aiden Hulett accomplished a feat rarely seen in high school sports. As a freshman, Hulett set the ambitious goal that would challenge the most gifted athletes, qualifying for the state finals in cross country, swimming, and track. We'll have more on his path to qualifying after the break.
Okay, 500 deluxe garden gnomes. Wow.
I only meant to order 5. There's not enough money in my account for these. I'm gonna get charged.
2 things I just can't deal with: overdraft charges and garden gnomes. But your BMO Smart Advantage checking account gives you an extra day to avoid an overdraft fee.
Nice to see a bank cutting people some slack.
Well, mistakes happen, and we give you time to correct them.
So you don't like gnomes, huh? What about that one?
That one I like a lot.
It's auto show time. Innovation, excitement, and the future of driving. And you'll experience it all at Fair Oaks Ford. The thrilling new Explorer, the cutting-edge Bronco Sport, or the adventurous F-150. Drive the future of Ford today. And right now, get 0% APR financing for 75 months. Plus, the best customer experience in the business. Fair pricing, fair deals. Fair Oaks Ford. It's right there in our name on Ogden Avenue in Naperville.
As a freshman, Benet's Aiden Hulett set the goal to qualify for the state finals in cross country, swimming, and track. The trifecta seems nearly out of reach until this February when the final piece fell into place. We have more on Hulett for our latest feature story presented by Fair Oaks Lincoln. By land and by sea, Benet's Aiden Hulett accomplished a feat rarely seen in high school sports. Coming from a family of swimmers, Hulett experienced success in both distance running and swimming at a young age. As a freshman, Hulett set the ambitious goal that would challenge the most gifted athletes, qualifying for the state finals in cross country, swimming, and track. The trifecta seems nearly out of reach until this February when the final piece fell into place.
I had goals for this year for both, and my swim season, what I was able to do off of the training I had was incredible. It blew me out of the water.
The moment of triumph came at the Downers Grove North Sectional in what might have been his final competitive swim. With everything on the line, Hulett soared to first place in the 200-yard freestyle, earning his first automatic qualifying spot at the state swimming finals.
Watching that happen and knowing all the hard work that he had put in to get to that moment was just an amazing feeling, and then the team erupted.
The swimming qualification rounds out a remarkable athletic resume, which includes 2 top 50 finishes at state and cross country in 2023 and 2024. He also excels on the track, flying to 16th place in the 3,200 meter at the 2023 state finals. With his running credentials already established, Hulett found a new level of success in the water this winter.
I think this is the first year I'm higher ranked in swim, actually, so.
Hulett placed 22nd in the 200 at the state swimming finals. Throughout the season, his versatility proved invaluable. He led the Red Wings in multiple events, the 200-yard free, 500, and 50-yard races, while also anchoring relay teams.
Being able to be that distance swimmer, but also one of the top sprinters on our team, it's like really a rare thing. We always knew that he would never give up a fight. So if it was close, Aiden was going to win it.
Behind the achievements lies a physical challenge. Despite all three being endurance sports, swimming and running reshapes the body in dramatically different ways. It creates a physical type of tug-of-war.
Cross country to swim is a very rough turnaround. There's not a lot of help there. The first 2-3 weeks in the water were very difficult. Just cross country, whole focus for me is I need to slim up. Like it's not a lot of big guys in cross country, and it's because if you're skinny, you're fast. Really, not true with swim. So just getting out into swim and having no upper body work was very hard.
Beyond the physical demands, Hulett has mastered something equally important: the mental game. He's developed a philosophy that keeps him grounded during the biggest moments.
I love what I do. I put a lot of stress on myself to get to where I need to do. So just realizing like this is fun. Like you're here to have fun, making sure I can calm down before a race and then go out there and enjoy myself. And that usually works.
As graduation approaches this spring and the track season on the horizon, Hulett leaves Benet Academy having accomplished something few high schoolers have even attempted. Yet for those who know him best, his legacy extends far beyond times and placings.
He's an amazingly loyal friend. He's an outstanding student. I mean, he works so hard at his studies, but he's also an avid volunteer and really gives of his time and energy to help the community.
His footprints on the track and ripples in the pool reminds us that athletic talent doesn't have to just fit into a single lane. For Naperville Sports Weekly, I'm Joe Kennedy. Coming up next, we'll give you our first spring sports highlights. Our local water polo teams hit the pool to open up the regular season. Then let's see our boys play the week.
We live in a safe community, but not a crime-free community. If you see something, say something. Be a Naperville Crime Stopper.
Local news is your lifeline. Let the Daily Herald help you navigate your world with solid reporting, good advice, and a much-needed diversion or two.
Waubonsie Valley Girls Water Polo kicks off their home opener with a matchup against Sandburg. The Warriors are looking to go 2-0 after a 15-7 win against Lockport earlier in the week, while the Eagles are looking to start off their season with a win. Last year's match saw Sandburg beat Waubonsie 9-4 at Sandburg. Waubonsie wastes no time getting going. In the opening seconds, Hadley Versk on the side finds Ruby Meyer, who is left alone in front of the net. The short distance gives Meyer the chance to throw past the goalie for the opening goal. Sandburg comes right back minutes later. Gianna Elizondo finds Claudia Abram, and despite pressure in her face, she puts it top shelf past the Warriors and through to tie the game up at 1. Now with the score 3-1 Waubonsie, Meyer continues her impressive start, getting the quick pass, and like a dart, she throws in the mid-range shot for another goal to quadruple the Warriors' advantage. On defense, Waubonsie remains stout as Abram finds Hannah Pausch in front of the net, but her shot is blocked away by Emma Buchenauer, who makes a nice save to keep the Eagles stuck at 1 goal. Meyer gets in on defense as she knocks the ball away as it floats at the middle of the pool. The race for the ball is on, eventually being taken by Waubonsie's Kaylin Ball, whom also gets the short-range shot down to widen the Warriors' gap over the Eagles. Sandburg looks to get back in it at the end of the quarter, but the Warriors' defense again is strong. Megan Donald finds Abram on the far side, but her shot is tipped off the hands of Buchenauer as the Warriors lead 7-1 after 1 quarter. In the second, Sandburg is on the offensive again. This time, Abram finds Posh up the middle, and her shot goes high over Buchenauer's head and into the goal for the score to get things moving. On their next possession, Gianna Elizondo throws it deep down the other end, finding Abram, who's left all alone again. She throws it top shelf over Buchenauer to close the gap down 7-3 early in the second. But Buchenauer shows off her arm strength as well, firing a rocket down the other way to Melanie Madiman. Faced with a tough angle, Madiman throws it to the only spot she can and sends it through to give the momentum back to Waubonsie, up 8-3. Meyer joins in on the action once again. This time she gets the ball in front of the net, and once again puts it through to give Waubonsie another goal. The Warriors lead 10-5 at halftime. The second half features more of the same. This time it's Meyer who passes it over to Versk, and up the middle she has plenty of time and space to toss it in to open up the scoring spree for Waubonsie again. Waubonsie's defense continues to stop Sandburg in their tracks. The passing game up the middle for the Eagles goes off the corner of the post, however they claim the rebound and go again. The ensuing shot from Abram is deflected by several Warriors before being secured by Buchenauer to keep the Eagles at bay. The Warriors put an exclamation point on the night. Ver gets the quick pass, and from almost the middle of the pool, she shoots a lightning bolt that goes over all of Sandburg's defenders' heads, including the goalies, for another score. Both sides trade goals late in the game, but Waubonsie Valley claims the victory with a strong 19-10 win over Sandburg in their home opener. The Warriors played their first DVC game on Tuesday, hosting Mattia Valley.
Benet Academy boys basketball made it back to the state series where Colin Stack posterizes a defender to wrap up the semifinal contest. Jaden Wright and Blake Fagbemi work it across half court. Wright lobs it to perfection to Stack, who says hello with a monstrous slam. It caps off a 10-0 Red Wing run to wrap it up and secure a spot in the state title. Let's see this one again from the Red Wing 7-footer. Benet defeats Warren in the state championship thanks to some clutch defense to close it out.
Okay, 500 deluxe garden gnomes. Wow.
I only meant to order 5. There's not enough money in my account for these. I'm gonna get charged.
2 things I just can't deal with: overdraft charges and garden gnomes. But your BMO Smart Advantage checking account gives you an extra day to avoid an overdraft fee.
Nice to see a bank cutting people some slack.
Well, mistakes happen, and we give you time to correct them.
So you don't like gnomes, huh? What about that one?
That one I like a lot.
At the Chicago Auto Show, you can experience the future of luxury. But at Fair Oaks Lincoln, you can drive it home. We've got all your auto show favorites. The luxurious new Aviator, the stunning Nautilus, or the bold Corsair. Get 0% financing for 66 months, plus $5,000 off on select models, plus a world-class customer service experience you won't find anywhere else. Fair Oaks Lincoln in Naperville, where the dealership experience makes the difference.
Neuqua Valley Boys Water Polo hosts Barrington in the first matchup of the season. The Wildcats are hopeful for another successful year as they look to rise in the ranks in the always challenging DVC standings. The Wildcats show off their defensive prowess early as goalie Ansh Vasudevan makes a nice save against Gabe Helsing in the first quarter. The Neuqua offense decides to take its turn as Declan Puat scores his first goal in what would be a big night for the Wildcat. A few minutes later, Puax would tie the game again with his second goal as the score was once again deadlocked at 2-2. Barrington adds another as Evan Kisak scores off a pass from Matt Bucaro that would give the Broncos a 3-2 lead in the first quarter. Declan Puax continues his big night as he delivers a bullet past the Bronco goalkeeper Luke Keller to tie the game at 3-3. Neuqua takes the lead thanks to Colin Mulligan scoring his first of 4 goals on the night to give the Wildcats a 1-goal lead over the Broncos in the second quarter at 4-3. The Broncos would respond as Alex Scott delivers a beautiful tip-in shot to score as his goal ties the game at 4-4. Later on in the half, Puax scores once again to give the Wildcats a 3-goal lead as Neuqua begins to take momentum with a 7-4 advantage at halftime. Barrington starts the second half with the ball as Connor Danielson gets his first goal of the night on a quick pass from Kisak to cut it to a 2-point lead at 7-5. As we move deeper into the third quarter, Matt Bucaro scores his third for Barrington to tie the game at 9-9 apiece. But the Wildcats respond once again as Puax scores his 7th goal of the night to give his team a 1-goal lead at 10-9. The Broncos have more to say as Connor Danielson scores to make it an 11-10 Neuqua lead with just under 6 minutes remaining in the game. The Wildcats would have one more scorer join the party as Gabriel Stan gives his team a 2-point lead late in the fourth. Following that score, Puax would score once again to give his team a 3-goal lead, Pujols leads everyone in scoring with 9 goals in total as he goes back-to-back to put Nikwa in front 14-10 with 5 minutes left. A 3-goal flurry for the Wildcats in less than a minute. The Broncos are not giving up. Following a save from Keller, he throws it down the pool to Evan Kisak, who scores to cut the lead down to 14-12 with just a little less than 3 minutes to play. The highlight play of the night comes from Colin Mulligan and his behind-the-back no-look goal that bounces home to give his team a 3-goal lead with under 2 minutes left. Neuqua Valley is able to hold on from there, starting the season with a 15-13 victory over Barrington in a thrilling matchup to start the 2025 campaign. Welcome back to the boys water polo season, where the Lockport Porters are taking on the Waubonsie Valley Warriors, who finished 2024 as the number 8 ranked team in Illinois. Both teams look for their first win of the 2025 water polo season. The Warriors start with possession and look to strike as Waubonsie finds Dawid Kowalowicz for the opening points of the 2025 season. Waubonsie looks to continue to feed the hot hand as Kowalowicz again finds the back of the Lockport net, giving the Warriors an early 2-0 lead 2 minutes into the first quarter. With less than 30 seconds left to go in the first, the Warriors goalkeeper looks to clear out the ball when he finds teammate Ben Meyer down the pool as he knocks in his first goal of the year. Waubonsie Valley leads 3-0 at the end of quarter number 1. Meyer looks to continue where he left off at the end of the first as he drills the shot into the net, keeping the Warriors ahead with a 4-0 advantage. Lockport looks for anything to get some points on the board and finds it from Gavin Vaselli, who swims the ball in and delivers the goal. Vaselli looks to keep his team in the game as they run the fast break. William Utz finds Vaselli on the give and go, and he drains it with back-to-back goals. However, Lockport still trails 6-2 at halftime, a team-high 4 goals in the game for Vaselli. Starting the second half, Lockport comes out swinging as Utz finds the first points of the second half for the Porters with a goal off the deflected pass. The Warriors look to respond to the Porters' goal as Daniel Niv finds Ben Meyer for the tip-in shot to maintain the multiple goal lead. The Lockport offense looks to respond as they look for the hot hand, Vaselli, and he knocks it in. The Warriors still lead 9-5 with 4 minutes left in the third. Late in the third quarter, Lockport throws up a miss, Christian Karras follows up with the putback, and Lockport is down by just 3, 9-6. The Warriors look to find their first half flow on offense as Doug V finds Kowalowicz in transition for the Waubonsie goal. That helps put the game away as Waubonsie Valley starts the season with a 12-8 victory over Lockport.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Naperville Sports Weekly. Come back next week for the first look at lacrosse and girls soccer. You can find all our highlights, feature stories, and community sports on nctv17.org. You can also find us across all social media platforms at NCTV17. For Naperville Sports Weekly, I'm Joe Kennedy, and we'll see you again next week.